Hello, thank you for joining me today. I'm Amanda Fowler of inspiringinkin.com, and in today's video we're going to be making this birthday card using a technique called thumping. So to get started with today's card, I have a card blank. This is garden green, and my card blanks are 4 inches wide and 5 3/4 inches tall. I've got a crumb cake layer which is 3 3/4 by 5.5. I've got a vanilla layer to go inside which is 3.5 by 5.25, and I have 2 other layers to go on the front. This is early espresso. It is 2 3/4 inches square, and this is vanilla, which is 2.5 inches square. So let's get started. I'm going to do my stamping first using Sassy Salutations and the happy birthday stamp. I'm actually going to stamp that down here at the bottom. It's important that you do this stamping first because we're going to emboss it in a minute, and if you try and stamp it after you've embossed it, it won't look right. I'm going to bring in my wood grain embossing folder and my Texture Boutique. Just to let you know, my Texture Boutique sounds like there is a mouse inside it. It's really squeaky. I have 2 of them, and this is the squeaky one. It doesn't seem to make any difference. It's perfectly happy. It does exactly what it needs to do, but as you'll hear in a moment, it squeaks. Now, I use my Texture Boutique all the time. I have it on my desk alongside my Big Shot. So I use my Big Shot for cutting and my Texture Boutique for embossing. So there we go. So that's lovely. That's lovely sort of wood grain effect there. My grid paper's kind of moved over. So that's going to go on my card front. Bit of Tombow there, and get that stuck down. Okay, then actually this layer can go on the top. And then we can get on with the rest of our stamping and our thumping technique. So I'm going to be using my lovely As a Tree stamp set. This is the oak tree from that set. A Pear Pizzazz ink pad. I have early espresso marker, an old olive marker, and a always artichoke marker. Now, it's really important that when you're doing this technique that you always go light to dark. So we're going to start off inking up the stamp in Pear Pizzazz, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my early espresso marker, going straight over the top of the ink with early espresso on the trunk, and then I'm just picking out a few of the branches with the early espresso. Don't worry about getting all of them. It's just to give it a little bit more of interest with the stamp. And then we're going to get on to the thumping bit. So I'm going to use the old olive marker. This has got the wide tip, so the white line is the wide tip. And what I'm going to do is hold it sort of loosely in your hand and bounce it all over the tree. Now what this is doing is each time it thumps or hits the stamp, it's actually going to leave a tiny bit of ink behind. So that's the old olive one. And now I'm going to do it again with the always artichoke. There you go. You see, I told you it wasn't dangerous. Now, you need to give this a magic huff. Now, if you've never come across a magic huff before, you need to breathe out all over the stamp. And what that does is it actually re-moistens the ink because it's begun to dry. So you do this, and then you stamp the image. And there you have, I love this technique. So you've got lots of different shades of green in there. Now you can use the magic huff again. So that will give a really soft and subtle stamped image. And actually there is probably enough ink on that stamp, do a magic huff again, for the envelope. I always like to decorate my envelopes. My customers know, people that come to classes, I have a saying that you mustn't have a naked envelope. I think it's really nice to decorate envelopes, and because when they drop through the letterbox, somebody's going to pick up this envelope and know that it's Happy Post, know that it's going to be something that they want to open. So do stamp on your envelopes. So let's just finish off this card, shall we? Okay, let's get the Tombow. So that's for the inside. And I always like to put a card insert in. It just gives you a nice place to write on. And then just pop this down on top. Oh, shall I put the tree the right way up? That would be good. There we go. So there we have it. There is your finished card and your stamped envelope. So thank you very much for joining me today. If you'd like more information about the projects today, or more creative inspiration, or to purchase any of the products that you've seen today, do pop by my blog, www.inspiringinkin.com. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.